we're going to talk about the size of an image in Photoshop, which is extremely important when it comes to the quality of the image. So let's say that I choose File, Open, and I select an image, say this one. Now here I see the file size, which is how much space it occupies on the hard disk. In this case, it's 626 kilobytes. So I press Open. So there are two things when it comes to size. There is the file size, which is in kilobytes or megabytes or whatever, and the image size, which is the dimension of the image. Okay, this is an image, therefore it has a width and a height. So this is the width and there's the height dimensions. The bigger those dimensions, the higher the quality of the image. The smaller the dimensions, if you had, let's say, I'm going to reduce the size of this image very fast now. I'll talk about it in detail a bit later. So let's take it down to 200 pixels. So now it was big and now it got smaller. So let's say that I want to print this on a bigger scale. I would have to scale it up. But when I do scale it up, it gets very blurry. You see, it lost all the detail it had before. And this is a fundamental rule in graphics. When you take a small image and scale it up, expand it in size, it loses quality. Yeah, you start to see the pixels, which is not a good thing. So to start with, in case you want to display high-resolution graphics, you should start with high-resolution images to start with. So you can either take photos with your digital camera in case you had one, or if you're downloading from the internet and you go to Google, for example, images to download from there, there you have options to specify the size of the image. So you can choose to have large images to download, or medium images, or small images. So in case you want to use these images in your projects, make sure that they are high resolution images. Okay, it's very bad when you present to a client a graphic with low resolution images. Very bad. So I'll close this and I'll open it again. And here we have to see what is the size of this image. Now, what do you think, and you can answer this, what do you think can be a possible unit for the size of the image, the width and height? Yeah, centimeter is a possible value. Another one, centimeter. Yeah, but for us here, we don't deal a lot with inches, so we don't. Yeah, pixels is another dimension. So mainly we're going to deal with two units, the pixel and the centimeter. Let's talk about the pixel first, because it's easier to visualize on the computer screen. The pixel, as we have seen last time, if I zoom over, is this dot, and that one, and that one, and this one, right? So it's these dots that are pixels. And as I told you last time, the more pixels you have, the better the quality of the image. So here I'm zooming out by pressing what? Control minus and Control plus to zoom in. Alright, so let's see what's the size of this image. There are many ways. The first one is to go to Image and Image Size. And here I want to look at this area, the pixel dimensions. So I have the width and the height in pixels. Now, how can I relate this to the size of the screen? Because you know that a computer screen is measured in pixels also. The size of the computer screen is measured in pixels. So this is 1280 by 960. Let's see that I want to put this in full screen in Photoshop. If I click on actual pixels, it goes to 100%. Now, if I want to see it without seeing anything else, this is what I do. I press F and Tab. And then I would hide everything and just see the full image. Now, if I press the space bar, I can pan around. Which means what? Which means that the image is bigger than the size of the screen, since I can pan around. If the image was smaller than the size of the screen, I would see the whole thing and I don't have to pan. Now to get back to Photoshop, I press F and tab again. So this is very important. To see an image full screen, you press F, F, and tab. You can zoom in and out. To go back to Photoshop, you press F and tab. So, if I want to see the size of my screen, I go to my desktop, right-click Properties. I'll go to Settings, and here I have 1024 times 768. So I have in width 1024 pixels, which is 1024, and in height I have 768. If you remember, this is optional. You can change this, right? But here, because I'm displaying this on the LCD, I have to use this resolution. And this is normally the resolution you would use when you're working on your machine. So this is 1024 times 768. If I go to my image size, it's more than 1024 times 768. It's 1280 times 960. So that's why it's bigger than the size of the screen.